Are you exhausted all the time? Before training, during training, and after training too? Are you struggling to get out of bed the day after training? Are you worried you won't even make it through your next training session? In today's episode, I have 5 tips to boost your energy levels and ultimately your performance that are essential for female athletes to know about. So grab a pen and paper to take some notes and let's go. Tired of feeling exhausted after training? Confused about how to fuel your body without all the food rules? Welcome to Female Sports Nutrition, where I'll help you fuel strong, build muscle, and perform your best, all while breaking free from diet culture. I'm Kristen, a sports dietitian, trainer, and Jesus lover, and I'm here to help you fuel with freedom. Lace up your shoes, grab that smoothie, and let's jump in. I have been there, done that, where I have had zero energy. I've not been able to train properly. My performance really suffered. My ability to lift weights went down. My ability to even gain muscle went down. And my ability to even just have fun in life went down. I wasn't able to hang out with my husband or my friends because I was just so dang tired. And if this is you, I want you to reach out to me because we can fix this through nutrition. Nutrition is so much of the puzzle when it comes to training and fatigue. If you are not fueling your body properly, you're going to feel it, and it's really going to have the trickle down effect on everything else in terms of your performance and your athletic career. So what I want you to do is head on over to my website, sign up for a free no obligation consultation so we can really get all the pieces of the puzzle together for you when it comes to your sports performance diet. We can figure out what that looks like for you and get you started on a plan so that you are boosting your energy levels and your performance. Okay, I have 5 tips for you today to boost your energy levels as a female athlete. And if you've listened to my podcast at all, you know that this is something that I have struggled with in the past because I really just was not fueling my body properly. I remember my husband asked me to go out to walk on the Riverwalk, and I told him I did not have energy to walk. All I could do was go sit at Starbucks, and even then I didn't even have enough energy to listen to what in the world he was saying because I was so depleted and I was so tired. So let's get into these 5 tips of what you can do to boost your energy so that you are not dealing with this fatigue anymore. Number 1 is to get your iron levels checked. Females can really suffer from low iron stores because of menstruation. Also, if you are running at all, you can get foot strike hemolysis, which is where you are bursting red blood cells in your foot, and that is causing iron losses in your blood. Plus, when you sweat, you are going to sweat out iron. So you kind of have this triple whammy effect against you in terms of maintaining your iron stores. So you really want to make sure that you're getting your iron levels checked. And we want to make sure that we are getting the best test to test for your iron level stores, and that is ferritin. So ferritin is actually a protein that stores iron in the body, and it's considered the most sensitive marker for identifying iron deficiency. So if you have a low ferritin level, this is going to indicate that your iron stores are low, and it can also suggest that you have iron deficiency anemia. So if you can get your iron levels up, that is instantly going to boost your energy levels, and you will feel like a weight has been taken off your shoulders, quite literally. You will feel so much better, but we need to know if you have iron deficiency or you are low in iron, because you don't want to just take in a bunch of iron supplements. That can actually kind of snowball in your body and stockpile. And so then you can wind up having an iron toxicity. So don't ever take iron supplements without knowing first if you are low in iron. Number 2 is don't overtrain. And this might seem very simple, or maybe you might be wondering, well, what in the world is overtraining? How do I know if I'm overtraining? And here's the deal. If you are not taking at least 1 day off per week, you're overtraining. If you are not taking an off season, you are overtraining. If you constantly feel exhausted, you're not getting a period, you are not sleeping well at night, your sex drive is down, all these things can be a sign that you are overtraining. So what should you do here? Number 1 is make sure that you're taking at least 1 day off per week. That's pretty simple, but that is the answer. You need a day to rest and recover. And I will tell you that you're actually going to get more gains and make more progress in your performance if you take an off day, because when you are resting, that's when your body gets better. It basically is healing, it's repairing your body, and it's allowing your body to get better. Same thing with sleeping at night. So you need to make sure that you're taking that day off, and also you are taking an off season. So if you look at any professional athlete, they're going to take an off season. They're not going to just go straight on through all year long. That does not mean that you need to park it on the couch for 6 months and not do anything. But what it does mean is that you are going to take, a little bit of time where you're going to work on cross training. You're going to work on other areas of your body that you have not been able to do when you were in season for training. So this might look like stability training. It might look like doing some yoga or stretching, things of that nature. But you need to make sure that you are covering all these different areas and you're not just pushing yourself go, go, go all the time. Number 3 is make sure that you're not under eating. You probably saw this coming, but it's true. You need to make sure that you're not under eating. And what that looks like for a female athlete, if you happen to know what your body fat number is, if you happen to know what your body fat is in pounds, you can figure out what your fat-free mass is. So you need to be eating at least 45 calories per kilogram of fat-free mass per day. Now, if you're wondering, Kristen, what in the world did you just say to me? Here it is in very simplistic form. If you are a female athlete and you are eating less than 2,000 calories a day, you're probably under eating. Minimum, you need to be eating at least 1,800 calories a day. If you're eating less than that, chances are you are under fueling and you are actually putting out more energy than you are taking in, which is kind of the first step in the door for RED-S, or relative energy deficiency in sport. If you don't know what RED-S is, I will link a podcast episode below for you on that so you can find out if this is something that applies to you. But you need to make sure that you are eating enough to cover your energy output, because what can happen is when you are not eating enough, it can cause you to actually develop other nutritional deficiencies like iron or vitamin D or magnesium or zinc. All those nutrients, or micronutrients, I should say, can cause fatigue and make you feel like you just have no energy all the time, because you're just not getting in enough opportunity to get those micronutrients in. Number 4 is prioritize hydration and electrolytes. If you've ever been dehydrated or low in electrolytes, I certainly have, it feels like you're just so exhausted. I've had times where I've had this happen to me because I have an autoimmune condition where I do not retain sodium. So if I am not staying on top of my sodium, I can get very dehydrated and very hyponatremic very easily. But I will not be able to even open my eyes if I'm falling asleep, if I'm asleep, meaning I'm asleep and I can't wake up. It can be kind of a scary place. But for athletes, you will know if you are not hydrating enough because you won't be sweating very much. You also won't be able to cry or produce tears because you are too dehydrated. If your urine looks like apple juice and not lemonade or clearer beyond that, then you are certainly dehydrated. So what you can do to make sure that you are getting in enough hydration throughout the day is to, at the very least, drink half of your body weight in ounces of fluid over the course of the day. Not talking about training, but with training, you need to know what your sweat rate is. I'm going to link a blog below for you so that you know how to calculate what your sweat rate is. But essentially what you're doing is you're weighing yourself before and after training to see if there's any difference in your weight, so that you know if you're taking in enough or not enough fluid. So ideally, you want to go based off of what your sweat rate is when you are hydrating during training. Now, you also need to make sure that you are getting in electrolytes. The most important one is going to be sodium or salt. So once you know what your sweat rate is, then you can kind of play around with the sodium levels and figure out where you fit best. Most females are going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 500 to 1,000 milligrams of sodium per hour. You might be less, you might be more than that, but it's a good idea to just start somewhere in that range and figure out what works best for you. So you'll know that it's working for you because you aren't getting cramps, You aren't feeling like your legs are just super heavy and tired. And I say filled with lead because that's how my legs will feel, or achy. You'll actually feel like you have good energy. Number 5 is to ensure that you are getting in enough vitamin D. And the way that you're going to do this is to get your levels checked. If you are low in vitamin D, it can increase inflammation, oxidative stress, and neurotransmitter function. It can increase inflammation and oxidative stress and decrease neurotransmitter function. So basically what that means is your muscles are not getting the signals that they need to work as well as they can. So now your performance is going to tank. You're also going to feel very tired because you are getting muscle weakness and fatigue. It also is going to play a role in calcium, and vitamin D is also going to play a role in calcium and phosphorus absorption, which are really important for bone health, but also nerve function. So if the body doesn't absorb those other nutrients, it can, again, lead to muscle weakness and fatigue. If you're low in vitamin D, here's to make things even worse, kind of like rubbing salt in a wound. Vitamin D deficiency has been linked to sleep disturbances. So basically, you're not getting good sleep on top of already being tired, which can make you even more tired. So you definitely want to get your vitamin D levels checked. Even if you are outside a lot, you can still have low vitamin D because certain medical conditions can actually cause you to have low vitamin D. And low vitamin D is one of the most common deficiencies in America. So it's really important to get your levels checked. If you are low in vitamin D, then you want to make sure that you are getting outside as much as possible between the hours of 10 and 2, at least 30 minutes a day. But if that's not possible, then you can always take in a vitamin D supplement. The amount that you would need would really just depend on how low you are, also what your doctor thinks. And this is something that I can provide guidance on as well. There are foods that do contain vitamin D. However, it's going to be harder to get in enough of your vitamin D levels if you are already low from food alone. So this is really something where you would need a supplement. I am all about doing food first over supplements, but this is really a time where a supplement would probably be necessary if you are deficient in vitamin D. So like I said, if you need help with your diet, putting together a solid fueling plan for yourself so that you are not dragging yourself during your training sessions, before and after, and you want to make sure that you are getting in enough nutrients and the right nutrients that your body needs during training sessions, I want you to reach out to me. Just sign up for a free, no obligation consultation. I will drop the link below for you, and we can get you started on figuring out what the best plan is for you. Hey friend, if this podcast inspired you, encouraged you, or changed you, I would love for you to leave me a review and share it with a girlfriend who will find it helpful or inspiring. That is the best way you can thank me and help me share my knowledge so I can help more people just like you. I'm so thankful that you spent this time with me today, and I'd love to connect with you. Join my Facebook group, Female Sports Nutrition, or send me a DM on Instagram, or hop on over to my website, EliteNutritionPerformance.com. I'll see you back here next week.